Shalom. Giving all praises to my heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh by Yahweh Shah by Yashim Wakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the bishops that rule well. That's in New York and Connecticut. Peace and many salutations to your archangels toiling in this truth. I read this article today. The brother sent it into a chat that we're in. And it's going into how you have a lot of big companies that are downsizing. The last couple of weeks, I've actually been seeing various articles coming from like Washington Post, Reuters News, things of that nature, going into how you have companies like FedEx, Amazon that's downsizing. I believe FedEx is going on furloughs until March the 6th. And then you have Amazon that laid off like 10,000 employees. Now these are dominant companies in the economy. Now, and it's only an example of the status or the plight of the economy. The economy is taking a beating right now. So you have this going on, downsizing going on, and also you have a potential railroad strike that can plummet the economy. It's saying if this strike actually happens, that the economy will lose $2 billion per day. Let that sink in, per day. So the downside has begun. The grinding is ceasing, and 2023 is scheduled to be a very interesting year for a lot of people, man. So I wanted to read this article because it gives precise information on the severity of how bad the economy is. So this is according to economiccollapseblog.com. It says the numbers are screaming that a giant tsunami of U.S. layoffs has now begun. Excuse me, my everything's running slow. It says we knew the economy conditions were deteriorating, but this is getting ridiculous. According to Challenge, Gray, and Christmas, the number of layoffs in November was 127% higher than it was in October. That isn't just a trend, that is an avalanche. And compared to the same month in 2021, the number of layoffs in November was 417% higher. So job layoffs have increased 417%. You know what I'm saying? That's about four times more layoffs than it was last year. Okay? Understand that. A 417% increase is a colossal shift. Essentially, these numbers are telling us that a giant tsunami of U.S. layoffs has now begun. And I believe that things will get even worse in 2023 and beyond. Our leaders have pursued policies that have been extremely destructive to the U.S. economy. Case in point, the whole situation with oil. Now, we know that we have a substantial amount of oil reserved here in the U.S., but Biden decided to do what? To stop oil production. Why is that? Well, my elder here in Dallas goes into this very often. The elder Ariala, alluding to his various algorithms that he does about the economy. And he states often that this is a staged devolution of the economy to usher in what? The fourth industrial revolution, to where everything is digital. Alright? And a huge component of going digital is money. And this is going to lead to Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in his right hand or in his forehead. Right? Which is the MOTB. Okay? is the C hip. All right, add those two together. The RFID hip, C hip. Okay. All right, they're ushering in a whole nother way, but in order to do so, what do they have to do? They have to shut down the old economy. Okay. Also, what is the Fed doing? What is increasing the interest rates, which causes what? Loans to be higher, and also it makes it harder for people to qualify for certain loans. Okay, so mortgages are higher. Credit cards debt is more expensive, and most people are living off of credit card debt. Okay, so these certain things that the government is doing is expediting the destruction of the U.S. economy. Okay, back to the article. Our leaders have pursued policies that have been extremely destructive to the U.S. economy, and many of us have been warning that a day of reckoning would arrive. Well, it appears that a day of reckoning for Americans workers is now here, and the months ahead are not going to be pretty. There is no way to spin these numbers to make them look good. Major layoff announcements are popping up in the news every single day, and what we have witnessed over the past several weeks is nothing short of staggering. Check this out. It says the pace of job cuts by the U.S. employers accelerated in November, with the number of layoffs climbing 127% from just a month ago, according to a report published by Thursday by Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. Companies announced 76,835 jobs cuts in November, led by the technology sector. The analysis showed this is 417% higher than the same time 1 year ago, and that's 4 times as much layoffs from just last year, Akyam and Akwath. So this is very, very, very serious, the times that we're living in. Okay? It's very serious, all right? And it's not going to get any better. We know our prophecy is going to get even worse, okay? So buckle on, and now more than ever, it's time to, build that foundation, and that foundation is that faith in Yahweh Shai, okay? Because we're going to need each other more than ever, all right? We've been saying this is going to happen for years, and it's happening right before our eyes, okay? So spiritually, we have been prepping, right? And that's going to manifest in us moving a certain way, and when the masses is going to get caught out there, okay? So we are in a very, very, very advantageous, place, right? In prophecy, we know what's about to happen, okay? Back to it. And these numbers don't even include the latest layoffs that have just happened. As our new housing crisis continues to accelerate, Wells Fargo has decided that now it's time to lay off hundreds more mortgage employees. And if you click on this link here, it'll actually go to where it's following this information. It says Wells Fargo Incorporation cut hundreds more mortgage employees Thursday, the latest in a series of reductions across the industry after high interest rates brought the pandemic-era house lending boom to halt. The reduction took place across the country, according to people familiar with the plans, who asked not to be identified discussing private information. The latest wave comes amid ongoing federal rates hikes to tame persistent inflation, pushing mortgage rates towards their highest levels in 2 decades. Refinancing has dried up, and some potential home buyers have been sidelined in the process. So because of the mortgage, interest rates, mortgage rates has increased. Well, what is this going to lead to? A lot of people are going to start losing their housing, their job. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people losing their job, not going to be able to pay bills. They're already living from paycheck to paycheck. Shit. Also loans, well, credit, I should say. So when layoffs happen, and they're already paying these high interest rates, what's going to happen? Well, people are going to have to move out, right? A lot of people are going to lose their house, man, their home. Okay, this is going to happen. Normally, big companies would be compassionate even to enough to at least wait until after the holiday season to let people go. But now times have changed, and a lot of these large firms are really feeling a sense of urgency to reduce payrolls. Shockingly, that even includes FedEx Freights, the nation's largest less than truckload carrier, LCL, right, will begin furloughing an underdetermined number of drivers on Sunday. The FedEx Corp unit confirmed Wednesday the voluntary furloughs will run until March the 6th, when drivers getting a guarantee to return to work, the unit confirmed. FedEx Freight is offering drivers a $300 weekly incentive to accept a furlough. And what can you do with $300 a week? You can't do nothing with that. So they are encouraging their employees a little more than likely to get on supplements or get on SNAP or food stamps. Well, the thing that's going on with food stamp is the fact that you have a shortage in workers in the food stamp industry. A lot of people are getting out of that work because there's not enough pay. So you have an influx of people trying to get on these benefits, and not enough workers. So a lot of people cases are being pushed out, if you will. Okay. So a lot of people out there, they're hurting, waiting on these benefits. And this is going to accelerate also. And, we have several bubbles that's about to pop, okay? Back to it. Have you ever heard of FedEx getting rid of workers prior to the holidays before? I haven't either. This is nuts. If we are seeing this many layoffs now, what things look like? What would things look like once the holidays are over? At this point, even even the Federal Reserve is admitting that more layoffs are coming. In fact, Fed's officials are now estimating that about 1 million Americans will lose their jobs by the end of 2023. 1 million. So 1 million people are about to lose their jobs. That's a lot of people, bro. Right? And this is they're underestimating, make it sound good. Updated projections from the Fed's meeting shows unemployment rise to 4.4% by the end of next year, up from the current rate of 3.5. This is significantly higher than in June, when policymakers saw the jobless rates reaching up to 3.7%. That could mean roughly 1 million workers lose their jobs between now and the end of 2023. Of course, the Fed projections are almost always way too optimistic. If Fed projections were accurate, we would still be in a low inflation environment right now. Let's be honest. If we get to this next December and only 1 million Americans have lost their jobs, we should have a massive national celebration, because that would definitely represent the sort of soft landing that Jerome Powell has been hoping. Needless to say, that sort of wildly optimistic scenario is not likely to play out. So it's projected that a lot of people are going to lose their job. This is why we do these sit downs, to warn our people, to give prophecy, right? To warn our people from false prophets that speak of happiness and peace and prosperity and unity and getting together. All those things are not accurate according to the scriptures. There's about to be a day of the Lord like no other. Okay? It's about to be hell on planet Earth. Okay? 2 Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The foolish storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right? And this is going on now. It's about to hit a lot of people suddenly. You know, these trucks are going to slow down because production is slowing down. You know, and also we have to factor in the whole situation with the railroads and then possibly the workers going on strike potentially. So there's a lot of things that's going to cause a lot of devastation to happen. Okay. So it's important that we are being mindful. You have a lot of people out there that are that's teaching our people that, you know, prosperity coming, things of that nature, and that's not coming, right? These Christian pastors and things of that nature. You know, it's a lot of fluff that's being passed as correct doctrine. And that's not true. You know, good times and happy times and fluffy times are not coming. Bad times are coming on the planet Earth, okay? Now this is Jeremiah 28:8. The prophet that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesy of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh hath sent him, has truly sent him. Now, if you read up, there's a prophet called Hananiah, was telling the nation of Israel that it was going to be able to overcome Babylon the Great with its pacts that it was making with these various empires, right? One was Egypt. And Jeremiah was letting them know, like, look, man, look, the nation, the southern tribe, you guys are going into captivities under the Babylonian, just be tributaries in this serve your captivity, right? And that came off as crazy, far-fetched, things of that nature. And they looked at Jeremiah a certain type of way, right? Actually buffeted Jeremiah for telling the truth. And we're coming in that same stead. See, we looked as crazy and far-fetched. But prophecy is happening right before us, the grinding and ceasing. This is why we are telling our people to turn back to the Heavenly Father, okay? Before it gets too crazy out here, man. All right, and it's about to get crazy. It's about to get wild, okay? Ain't no stopping prophecy. We do this because we want to receive a covering in that day, okay? We want to know how to move in that day. And ultimately, you're gonna have to have that spirit of Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai by some Karkadash to give you that understanding. Okay, Isaiah 33:6 says, "Wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of thy time." Okay, what is the knowledge? Knowledge of what's supposed to happen. All hell is gonna break loose. We have to spiritually and mentally get ready while we're in a time of grace. Okay, Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. When the sun or the light of the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return from after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. and those that look out of the windows be darkened. So here it's talking about what? It's talking about how everybody's going to be in turmoil because guess what? The grinding is ceasing, or what? The economy is slowing down. This is what we're seeing. And, we're in this selfish kingdom, the individualistic kingdom. What do you think people are going to do when they can't eat? Well, they're going to resort to animalistic ways. All right? Or the flesh. They're going to be carnal and do things for themselves and their family. Like rob, kill, steal, right? Fraud. All these things are coming. On top of natural disasters. Right? On top of plagues. The sicknesses that are out here. Ultimately, that was created by the Most High. We know that Esau Edom created a lot of things via his inoculations, right? Which is a fancy word for the jab, right? Right, to do what? To depopulate the creatures. We'll keep it at that because I don't want to get shut down. Okay. So it's going down, man. So we're here to tell you, remember Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. He's not a God that's all love. He's a God of war too, God of balance too. And Most High allows evil to happen on the face of the earth for his judgment. Understand that, okay? Back to the scriptures, Sirach 12:4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. That's right. So, the daughters of music be brought low. Ain't no going out and having a good time, and Sunday fun day, and Saturday we're gonna go to the farmer's market with your gal and get some organic eggs. All that is come to naught, man. Okay. I'll read this in the NLT for you. Remember him before the doors to life opportunities close and the sound of work fades. Now you rise at the first chirping of the birds, but then all their sounds will grow faint. That's right. So, getting up early, going to work, your routine, this living life, that's going to be brought to nigh, man. So, sadness is coming on a very large scale for a lot of people. And a lot of people have been living a very, very decadent life. And so they're going to react in the flesh. Okay, I'm going to read this in the NLT, the 5th chapter. It says, remember him before you become fearful of failing and worry about danger in the streets, before your hair turns white like an almond tree in bloom, and you drag along with energy like a dying grasshopper, and the caperberry is no longer inspires sexual desires. That's right. So people gonna be stressed out here, getting aged because of the years of turmoil, trying to make it. And a lot of people are already living like this, but it's going to accelerate, man. People are already living paycheck to paycheck, and it's going to accelerate, right? Living that hot girl summer life is going to be brought to naught. You're not going to be thinking about chasing women in that day. You're going to be thinking about, how am I going to feed myself? Okay? Remember him before you near the grave, your everlasting home, when the mourners will weep at your funeral. And a lot of people don't realize that their death is around the corner. See, we're trying to attain life everlasting. We want to do the right thing on this side, so when we die, whether it be on this side or when, or we don't taste death, when Yahweh returns and save us, right? We want to make sure that we're living a life in which we're going to rule and reign with Yahweh Shah, who the world English calls Jesus. Okay? So now prophecy is where it's at, people. Okay, people want to tell us we ain't this, we ain't that. But that's fine. You're still going to have to deal with prophecy. Okay? So I pray this was edifying. Even though I pray to my Heavenly Father, his name is Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Crocodiles, double honors to the apostles and bishops of New York and Connecticut, and peace and many citations I am told in the truth. Shalom.